at 125 pounds. So Northern Iowa with a 5-3 lead. Tony, really interesting matchup here. At 141, Jordan Titus for West Virginia, 5th ranked Cael Happel of Northern Iowa. They've met before. In fact, this is the 5th time they've squared off, and Titus has gotten a little bit closer each time. They met at the Cliff Keen Invitational this year, and Happel's victory was just by 1 point, 11-10.
Well, I think Jordan Titus, you know, he's really close. I mean, he does so many things really well, and it's just a couple little tiny things here and there, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's able to put that together in this match here. You know, Happel's done a nice job. It occurs to me, though, wrestling, like any other sport, you spend all your time trying to be the top guy, and then as soon as you're the top guy, then you got a big target on your back, and everybody uses you as a barometer, right? So this is an opportunity for Titus to wrestle well, not just wrestle well, but try to work on getting a win against the top 5 guy. Build a little of his confidence back, right? Because he's really just missing a little bit here and there.
Inadvertent shot to the right eye there for Happel, and we'll restart. A couple of NCAA tournament qualifiers from last year. In the Big 12 event last year, Happel finished 2nd, Titus finished 6th. And again, they meet here in Morgantown. Northern Iowa with the 5-3 lead through 2 weight classes.
You know, in West Virginia, they've been wrestling very well, right? They've been winning 4 and 5 matches in all these dual meets. The problem is they've been giving up bonus points, which has caused them to lose the dual meet. Now, Missouri being a little bit different, we're in a pretty good position to win. Wolfgram's ahead, ends up being injured, out for the season now, right? And then as a result of that, Missouri gets 6 and wins the match. But I think you know, they're in that spot where if you can win 4 or 5 matches against top teams in the country, you're in pretty good shape. You're on the verge of being those top teams in the country, right? If you can seal a little bit of that stuff up, and so that the matches are competitive all the way through the lineup.
And I think one thing that makes it a little bit even more frustrating to add to that is the injuries that the Mountaineers have had to go through this year. We lost a lot of key pieces. You know, you've had Dowling missing matches at a time, Waters missing the rest of the year, and now, sadly, Michael Wolfgram out for the year.
Oh, there, watch that Jonesy. You see Happel's ready for it, though. Just going to base down. We're going to get a stalemate. I mean, they know it's coming. You heard it from the Northern Iowa sideline, right? It's like, there it is, here it comes. So, I thought it was a nice shot by Happel and a good job of countering by Titus.
Last time out against Missouri, Missouri built a huge lead on West Virginia. Mountaineers had a great comeback, and as you mentioned, Tony, in a position to win with Wolfgren leading his match late when he had an injury default.
Yeah, and what Coach Flynn was just like a non-contact injury. He went to make a fake and pushed off his back leg, and his knee just gave out on him. So
Missouri won that one 23-22. The Mountaineers have been on the road for the last 3 in the Big 12. They made the Oklahoma State trip, split there, beat Oklahoma, lost to Oklahoma State, and then last weekend in Columbia, Missouri. And now the Mountaineers back home.
Well, what I think's been impressive is that on the West Virginia side of it, they're going after it. I mean, they're getting after people, right? They're not hanging out and trying to survive matches. They're wrestling hard and going through and going after it. So we're going to have a 0-0 at the end of the first period. And again, I think some of that is that each guy knows that, you know, the other guy, you got a little respect for him because they can scramble and move, right?
Jared mentioned the season-ending injuries to Ty Waters and Michael Wolfgren. Unfortunately, you've got 3 ranked wrestlers coming into this one tonight, and a lot of people anxious to see Peyton Hall wrestle again. The West Virginia native. We'll see him in just a bit. Happel out there now for Northern Iowa at 141, the first of 3 Northern Iowa wrestlers ranked in the top 5 in their weight class. And there's the first point here in the second period.
Oh, nice job. You see him post underneath actually almost both elbows at the same time and catches Titus going backwards and got no defense for that.
So Happel got the escape point, and now the first takedown comes near the midway point of the second period, and out of bounds they go. And Titus loses his balance near the Northern Iowa bench, but he's okay.
So watch him post an elbow and get under the second one and catches Titus on his heels a little bit, knocks him down pretty easy. Relatively easy takedown.
Titus on the bottom needs to score here, needs to get on the board. 1:13 left in the second. Titus looking for his second Big 12 conference win. Happel 4-1 in the league so far. And there's the point for Titus, 4-1. Midway through the second period, Titus will try and go to work offensively here.
Well, that would be the idea, right? I mean, because I think that's part of where he's been struggling and getting into his offense, getting to the places where he likes to be, the ties or the positions, and so that he can attack. And Happel, you see, does a nice job, just stays in really good position.
The hand fighting was so good there from Happel. Out of that position, gets himself. Oh, Jordan Titus, great defense on the edge of the mat. Able to reach through, grab an ankle.
Man, that's a tough spot right there. He's on the verge of giving up that three-point takedown, even though he's holding on for dear life. Only about 10 seconds left in the period.
Trying to hang on here. Titus was close to the boundary, tried to get the whistle. Looks like he's going to be able to hold on. Man.
That's a heck of a scramble right there.
And some incredible work for Titus to not give up points, but it took an awful lot of energy.
It takes a lot of energy, especially there at the end, right? You're essentially almost doing a headstand to keep your body that straight and that tight, right? That's a lot of core work. And you got to breathe while you're doing it too, right? So he's fighting and breathing at the same time. That's optional start.
4-2. Ride time not a factor. And we'll see if Titus again needs to go to work offensively. But you're in the third period, Tony, against the 5th-ranked wrestler in the country, and you've got a chance.
You got a chance. Not like Dumb and Dumber, like you're saying I got a chance, like 1,000,000 to 1, right? But you're in the match and you got a chance. I mean, it's a takedown. On the leg.
Titus trying to take the lead.
Well, Happel does a nice job of staying tight with him. Happel's going to try to roll him here, I would imagine. But Titus going to try to stay out on the top. It's an interesting spot because both guys have a chance of getting this takedown from right here.
Halfway through the period. Titus was in on the shot. Now we've got a great scramble.
Happel right in on that leg, though, and does a nice job, man. And like you said, it was a very good scramble. Happel stayed low, went right in and attacked the leg, and again, caught him a little bit flat-footed and is able to get that 4-point takedown. That's 35 seconds left.
It's a veteran move right there.
Oh, man. That's just good wrestling. I mean, both guys are wrestling really well and really hard. And just being able within that spot and be able to attack right there was just well, I mean, that's where you're practicing, right? So that's why you're practicing rolling around and being in those situations. Instead of, and this is why somebody's in the top 5, right? Instead of trying to back out and trying to survive and trying to hang on, he's looking to score, right? And that's the difference. Those are the differences between whether you're on the top of this or not. So now
you let him up there. It's 7-3.
Right? So I mean, riding time's not going to be an issue. I guess he just feels more comfortable on his feet. Maybe try to take him down a little bit, see if he can turn him.
Happel still trying to score here in the final 10 seconds.
And Jordan with another shot. Look, I got to tell you, that's a pretty good match. That's a good match. Two good guys wrestling pretty well. Happel definitely gets the better out of it. Two really great takedowns on his part. Good college wrestling match right there.
Well, Jordan Titus showed well. Again, those two know each other very, very well. That's the 5th time that they've squared off, and Titus closing the gap and performing really, really well tonight.
Right, he's in on that single, pops him up in the air, right, and they're just holding on. You see Happel holding that leg, trying to get that ankle. Titus twists and turns. They stay here for a little while, right?
And then Happel staying aggressive all the way through despite having the lead and scoring the final points.
See how well he does it, keeping Titus's foot planted, keeps his leg straight so he can't bend his knee and can't sit around the corner. Just a